What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a wonderful day, week, month, year.
Life.
We wanted to give you guys a couple simple, easy to do do's and don'ts of your first year of marriage, or just, I guess they really apply into 50 years of marriage. But these are good, just like foundations to kind of learn right off the bat in that first year, while you lay the foundation for really the rest of your marriage. And I guess first thing I'd say is marriage is something that takes work, just like looking good and being in good shape and eating healthy and a good bank account and all those things that you want to be good in your life, that take a lot of work. So it's not just something that happens, and it's not something that, just because you're not feeling something at the moment means that you just give up on it. You really, regardless of feelings, anything you're going to be successful in life, you have to just simply commit to the journey and to the process, and understand that there'll be obstacles in the way. If it was easy, it wouldn't be rewarding. And so the very fact that it takes work is basically part of what makes it so rewarding once everything comes together. But we're kind of just freestyling this off the top of our heads for the next couple tips, some do's and don'ts for your first year of marriage. So the first one I have is have a lot of fun and don't take yourself super seriously, I guess. Or do have a lot of fun, don't take yourself too seriously.
There you go.
I think that it's important to just go into everything with a lighthearted attitude and not make everything a big deal. Be as flexible as you can, just roll with whatever's coming your way, right? So just make light of the things that come at you, and stress you guys out a little bit, and just determined to have fun. Make everything into a fun, an opportunity to laugh and enjoy yourselves. And you don't need a bunch of money to do that. It's just important that you really make the decision to do it together, and it's really just a choice to have fun in whatever's going on. So that's my first one.
I feel like I tend to be maybe like more, I don't know, I guess it depends, more serious or more just, I get more bent out of shape about things easier, I guess you could say. And so like I'll be all bent to shape, and then Tim's just like, okay. And then I feel like he's just like so like cool and calm and just like, it'll be okay, it'll be fine. And which sometimes that's kind of annoying, but then I always say, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just like deflate my hot air balloon and like come back down, like, to like level of earth and just chill out, So
yeah, I
think a lot of times when things are going on, the days out, like day in, day out of life, I think we tend to sometimes get too serious or, too task oriented or, whatever. And it's like, even if you do have 50 people coming over for, Christmas or something, it's like, enjoy that time, like whatever it is, whatever you're doing. And he's definitely better at that than me. I'm still learning that process, but I definitely agree.
Have fun and don't take things too seriously.
Yeah. So have fun. Don't take things too seriously. And because like things always work out like, okay, like in the end, it's like, Tim's like, well, what's the worst possible thing that could happen? And I'm like, well, this. And he's like, all right, well, we'd be okay if that happened. And I'm like, you're right, we would be okay. So it's like, there's no point in like getting bent out of shape about things. One thing that I would say to not do, or yeah, I guess. Okay, I don't exactly know how to word this, but we'll just go for it. Okay, whenever your husband comes home from work, or if you can see that he's tired or like hungry or super busy or has like 50 people calling him, that's not the time to like ask him stuff. Like that's not the time to be like, hey babe, I want to do this, or I want to go here, or I want to, like, my thing is always like planning like a vacation. So like, I want to plan our vacation of where we're going to go. And so I've like picked out all these places of things to do, whatever. It's like, I want to show him my little list and like narrow it down and see what he wants and what he likes and whatever. And it's like, whenever he's come home from work, or like Sunday, he has to like prepare for a manager call. It's like, if he's like getting ready to go onto his call, it's like, I'm not going to bother asking him. Like I have like our date morning, and that's actually my do have a date morning, but we can talk about that in a minute. Don't just like walk into the room and be like, hey, I want to do this, or I want to buy this, or I want to go here or whatever, because it's like, they're probably not even going to respond to you. That's most of the time what he does. Like maybe he'll look at me or just kind of like, huh? And it's like, I get like no response from him, and then that just makes you feel like shut down and like irritated. So I've just learned, if I want something and I want a favorable answer, wait until he's rested, till he's well fed, till he's relaxed, and then ask him whatever it is, to like put up a backsplash in the kitchen. Apparently I've never asked that at the right time, because we've lived in the same house for like 6 years and we still don't have a backsplash in our kitchen. So, but anyway, what can I say?
So the next one that I would say is, don't ever go to bed angry. So whenever you do argue about something, make sure that you fight it out until basically it's resolved. Don't just say like, we agree to disagree and now we're going to roll over to the other sides of the bed and not talk about anything, and like let it just sink in under the surface, because the things that you fail to communicate about, they eventually show up in one form or another, either with you discussing it or with you with a big fight, and things can get a lot worse. There are some that they keep things bottled down, and then all of a sudden the tipping point happens and a huge argument about over something where really it was like months of stuff. So don't go to bed angry, like talk things out, communicate. If there's something bothering you, it's important to bring it up and not let stuff just kind of slip under the rug. And so just don't go to bed angry. If you've been arguing or whatever, just
hash it out.
Yeah, and then have sex or something and it'll be better. So
well, there you go. So for women especially, don't bring up things from like the past or past arguments. Like Tim was just saying, don't go to bed angry. It's like, whenever something is done, it needs to be done. So like, if something happened in January, don't bring it up in June. It's like, if that thing is still bothering you all that time, you're holding on to that, that's going to hurt your relationship.
Yeah.
So you want to not hold on to those things. It's like, get to that resolve. And if you're doing that, if you're holding on to those things, it's like you're hurting your spouse by doing that, because it's like the Lord has forgiven us, and so we need to forgive others in that same grace we want extended. And so we especially need to do it with our spouse. I feel like sometimes they're the ones that maybe like they see us at our worst. They most of the time see us at our best, but then they also see us at our worst whenever we're our most frustrated, and sometimes we take out our frustrations on them.
Sure.
And we hold on to those things, but you don't want to constantly be bringing up things from the past. Like, learn how to get that resolved, get it closed, and move on.
I think that's awesome. And then my next one would be make decisions together and pray about it and read the Bible together. I think that continuing to do those things that make you spiritually strong and keep God at the center of your relationship is super important, because there'll be times where you might get frustrated, things might be said, things might be done that would push you to a limit. And in a lot of ways, your relationship with God will actually keep you from making a mistake or saying something you shouldn't say in the heat of the moment. And God can kind of be the anchor that keeps you guys together, even when you're frustrated at each other. And so setting a routine where, we try to read the Bible on a regular basis every morning. We pray together and we praise together. We'll dance in the living room together. Just basically keeping God at the center of the relationship. Ultimately, when it's the two of you and God, you basically are the majority. You'll never fail at anything that you do. Whenever the presence of God was in an area, there was blessing, and then also any of the evil stuff that was happening dissolved. Right, the enemy would turn on each other. The situation would turn around. I mean, basically involving God's presence in your relationship is kind of the one of the easy buttons to making sure that it's a good, just awesome relationship. And not having God in your relationship can basically be a pretty quick way to get things that would have been great to unravel pretty quickly. So yeah. So
do have a date morning or a date night, whatever works in your schedule. For us, he works super late most of the time, so date morning is like our thing. And so that's like my time where we're not on our phone, we're not usually hanging out with other people. It's him and me and now Eva and soon to be our next little one. And we we go out, we do something, or, let's say we decide, hey, like we want to stay home. It's like, we'll try to do something a little bit more special and just have that designated time for one another. And that is super important. Like for me, I love quality time, and I don't get a ton of quality time. So it's like having that time once a week where I know that he's mine, everything else in the world can wait. For me, that is such a huge, huge help in our relationship. And so I whether it's morning, night, if you can take a whole day, do that, but like have it be something special that you do that is a time that you look forward to. And so, every relationship is different. So like for me, I look up the restaurant, I research it. Like he doesn't want to like research where we're gonna go. It's like that's not his thing, that stresses him out, whatever. But it's like if he likes it, let him do that and like takes turns picking, but like do something fun together that you look forward to.
And I'll kind of finish with this one, but the last one I would say is go after a common goal together, and be, like the Bible says, iron sharpens iron. So I guess push each other to be better versions of yourselves every single year. I think that it's important to not be like, hey, we pursued each other, we got each other, and now we just let things slide. It's important to stay healthy, keep exercising, save money, do things together, and then go after a common vision together. The ultimate, I think that other than companionship and is that God puts you together as a team, and then there's a common vision, right, that you're going to go accomplish. You kind of know that the marriage is going to be in trouble when there's two totally separate visions, and the two people are like, I want to go accomplish this in life, and I want to go accomplish this, and then it's like competing with each other. Whereas not that it's the girl supposed to go with the guy or the vice versa, but that they're supposed to work together. There is something that both will be able, that you really, the two of you will be able to accomplish together so much quicker, easier, and the results will be 100 times more when you guys are a team. And I think along those lines, just remembering that you are a team, and so when you get frustrated that things aren't going well on the outside, don't take it out on each other. Instead, go to each other for strength. And many times when there's been frustrations, it's because we're both worn down, we're both fighting for the same goals in battle, and things aren't going the way we want, and you have to be careful not to come back home and then kind of take out your frustrations on each other, but instead like group with your teammate, give them a high five and say like, hey, let's go do this thing, and then just go after it again. And if you guys have a common vision and God's in your relationship, and you're continuing to improve and spending time with each other and not going to bed angry, and whatever the other ones were, I promise you that the relationship won't only be good for the first year, but it'll be good for the first 50 or more years. And so
I have one more to add. I'm pretty sure you will agree with this, but I would say do have a sex life and do talk about it. Like talk with each other about the things that you like, you don't like, what you expect, like how often you want to do whatever, the things that you like I really like it when you do the dishes. That really just gets me very excited.
What does that have to do with the sex life?
Well, because then there'll be more time. So, but no, seriously, like talk about those things. Like you can't just like never talk about it. You have to talk about it. So the audience thinks that's very funny. I know that they do, but it's so true. Like you have to talk about it. You have to say like, what you expect and what you want. And so do that with each other.
Yeah, do it. All right. Well, have a good day. We'll see you on the next broadcast. Bye.